I mentioned just now there's really interesting research on people picking up something about someone else. In a book called What We Can Learn from Psychopaths. So if anyone wants to follow up on that, go ahead. They quoted this study where they wanted to see if psychopaths are identifiable, if we can pick up if there's somebody, in our space that has that tendency. But to begin with, they were interested in how psychopaths pick their victims. Why do they choose that person and not that person? Why could this person walk right past, but that one will be targeted? And so they did quite a horrifying study, which is that they collected a group of, they did it in two parts. They collected convicted psychopaths, and they asked a whole lot of regular folk to walk down a corridor. And they videoed them walking down a corridor. Then they showed those videos to the convicted psychopaths, people who are like very clinically and criminally psychopathic. And they asked them to identify which of those people they would victimize, who would they pick as a victim. With disturbing accuracy, they picked the people who have trauma in their history.
Wow. Okay, but I have a question there, because don't we all have trauma in our history?
They picked people who would be over-empathic, who would not be able to set boundaries very well, who would not listen to themselves.
Wow.
So they did it with the clinical psychopaths and saw that they are very accurate. Then they also did it with university students. They assessed people to see people who tend towards narcissistic or particularly psychopathic tendencies. So if they had traits of that, they asked those people also to watch videos. They did the same thing, and they were also very accurate. So then they became curious, and they thought, well, can the victims, the empaths, can they recognize a psychopath if they met them? And the answer was yes. And it's in response to your question about the body. The body recognized it. There's something in our brain that registers some level of interactive relationship danger. They had the hairs at the back of their necks going up. They got the goosebumps. They had a feeling of discomfort and tension, like they just wanted to pull away. Those were real and they were accurate. That's why I wanted to come back to this, because it's so important.
That's so important. But tell me, is it something about trauma that makes you ignore that? And maybe the reason that empaths get into these relationships with psychopaths is because everybody else is like, whoa, that's a psychopath, I should stay away. But the empath is like, oh, I'm sure they're just nice people. And
they had a hard childhood. Oh.
I'm that person. I'm that person. I'm literally that person. I'm like, nobody's evil and we should...
Yes, you should always give them a chance. Really, really important. Also in line with this, how do you know if somebody is or is not toxic? Watch somebody's behavior. Don't listen to their words. Often people's words will conflict their behavior. They'll say something and it sounds so good and you believe it because you're a words person and you want to believe the best in everybody. They speak about spiritual bypassing. Have you heard that term? So spiritual bypassing is when you see someone's bad behavior as a human and what they're doing, and then you say, oh, but they have such potential.
Yes.
And you create a bridge over their bad behavior and their bad choices, and you make excuses for them. So that's another way. But if people are saying nice things, but they're behaving badly, which one do you give more weight to? Their behavior. Someone will show you. Watch how someone treats children, treats dogs, treats anyone that they think is less than them. Watch how they talk to the checkout person at a supermarket. Watch how they speak to waiters and waitresses. That's a big cue. If somebody is rude to a waiter or waitress, pay attention.
Thanks for listening today. I hope you found today's episode insightful and inspiring. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Subscribing helps a new podcast like ours immensely. And until next time, don't be a sheep, keep questioning, stay curious, and never stop exploring the extraordinary.